Autophagy isn't just activated by fasting. There are other ways to trigger it and reap the amazing benefits. Because at its core, autophagy is your body's way of cleaning up. It's a natural process where your cells break down and recycle damaged components. Think of it like a reset, removing what's not working and making space for what is. Autophagy is linked to things like better metabolic health, improved insulin sensitivity, reduced inflammation, and even longevity. So yes, it matters. But here's what most people get wrong. They think the only way to access it is through extreme fasting. And that's not realistic or even necessary for most people. So in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through 4 science-backed ways to trigger autophagy without fasting. Plus a bonus one at the end that most people completely overlook. This one is one of the easiest, and it might already be a part of your routine. Coffee contains certain compounds that activate pathways in the body that are associated with autophagy. Things like AMPK. This is basically a signal that your body is in a low energy state and needs to start becoming more efficient. Now, this doesn't mean coffee is the same as fasting, but it can support similar processes. And this is one of the reasons why you might not only see people say that black coffee doesn't break a fast, but that it can actually enhance it. It doesn't spike blood sugar, it doesn't spike insulin, and it can actually support some of the same benefits. Now, the key here is how you're having it. Black coffee is ideal. Not one loaded with sugar, syrups, or high-calorie additions. And definitely no artificial sweetener, because that changes the equation completely. And timing matters too. Having it earlier in the day is ideal, so you're not impacting sleep later on. Because sleep, which we'll get into later in this video, spoiler alert, is one of the biggest drivers of these processes. This is one of the most important and often one of the most overlooked. This can have the biggest impact over time. Because yeah, if you do a 24-hour, a 36-hour, a 72-hour fast every couple of months, that is amazing. You get a lot of the benefits of autophagy from an extended fast. But what about in the meantime? By not snacking in between meals, you're still triggering autophagy, just to a lesser extent. So you're basically getting little hits of it throughout the day. Every time you eat, your insulin goes up. And when insulin is elevated, autophagy is suppressed. So if you're constantly eating, even small snacks, your body never really gets a chance to drop insulin and shift into that repair mode. So all this means is give your body space in between meals. Let insulin come down. Let your body use the energy that it already has. And this is where a lot of people struggle. They say they're hungry all the time. They can't go that long in between meals. But often this isn't true hunger. It's blood sugar instability, or it could be low electrolytes. And these are super important, especially when you're spacing out meals. Because during low insulin periods, your body needs more electrolytes, and specifically more sodium. Because if your electrolytes are off, that can show up in hunger, that can show up in cravings and headaches. If you're finding it's really hard to not snack, and you're 100% sure that you're getting enough protein in, electrolytes could be the missing piece. They probably are, to be honest. Now, I've tried a lot of electrolyte products, and honestly, most of them don't have enough sodium. Sodi's everyday hydration salts actually do, and that's why I am such a huge fan. It really does make a big difference. So instead of reaching for a snack, try addressing hydration first. It's a small shift, but it can completely change how you feel in between meals. If you want to check out Sodi, I'll put the link in the description box down below, and you can use code HCK15 to save 15% off your order. Now, this one doesn't necessarily mean you have to sit in an ice bath every day, although some people do choose to do that. Exposing your body to cold, even briefly, acts as a stressor. And in this case, stress is good. This is the kind of stress your body can adapt to. When you expose yourself to cold, your body has to work to maintain your internal temperature. This activates pathways that are linked to cellular repair and resilience, including those associated with, you guessed it, autophagy. Again, this is not the same as fasting, but it is another way to activate that signal. Your body needs to become more efficient. This can be as simple as ending your shower with cold water or getting outside in cooler temperatures. It doesn't have to be extreme to be effective. Like most of the things in this video, it's about consistency. This is one of the most popular tools you have, and you might already be doing it. When you lift weights, you're creating controlled damage to your muscles. And your body has to repair that. That repair process involves breaking down and rebuilding cellular components, which overlaps with the same systems involved in autophagy. You're essentially telling your body, this tissue needs to be stronger, more efficient. and your body responds. This is also where you get the added benefit of building muscle, which improves insulin sensitivity, supports metabolism, and helps regulate blood sugar. So you're getting multiple benefits at once. And this is why resistance training really should be a non-negotiable, not just for aesthetics, but for our long-term health. Even 2 to 3 sessions per week, 30 minutes to 45 minutes can make a big difference. Quality over quantity. Now, before we get into the bonus, I want to zoom out for a second, because there's a common theme here. All of these things create a signal that your body needs to adapt, that it needs to become more efficient, to clean up what's not working. And that's what autophagy is. It's not something you hack, it's something you support. Now the bonus, and you might not be happy to hear this, but it's getting proper sleep. This is one that most people ignore, but it's probably the most important. A lot of these repair processes happen while you sleep. If your sleep is poor, inconsistent, or cut short, your body doesn't get the chance to do the work. And this is where people sabotage themselves. They're doing all the right things, all the hacks throughout the day, but they're not getting enough sleep, or not enough quality sleep. Deep, consistent sleep supports hormone regulation, insulin sensitivity, and cellular repair, all of the things we've talked about. So if you're serious about all of this, don't skip this step. Moral of the story is, doing an extended fast, yes, that can help to temporarily boost autophagy. And don't get me wrong, these high autophagy states are extremely beneficial for longevity. But what's also beneficial is the microdoses of autophagy you give yourself every single day, or you can give yourself, if you're doing the right things. And the best part is, most of these things are free. Some of them you might already be doing. Being healthy doesn't have to be complicated. Every little good habit you do throughout the day adds up. So instead of chasing extremes, if you find it really hard to stick to even a 24-hour fast, don't stress. Don't beat yourself up. Focus on these small daily habits instead. And before you go, remember to check out Sodi, because hydration, super important. Even more so when you're in a low insulin, high autophagy state. I'll put the link in the description box down below.